Hey guys, I'm back with part 4 for this tutorial on how to build this suburban house. Here in this video, we're going to go ahead and do the landscaping for the front and backyard. I went ahead and gathered up all the blocks we're going to be using, so I'm just going to scroll through them all. There is quite a few, so I'll just go slow and you could grab all the blocks that we're going to be using. So let's head on over to the right side of the house here at the front first, and we're going to start shaping out the driveway and the pathway and the garden areas. So we're going to look at the garage door first, and we're going to head on over here to the corner of the house. And starting right here, you should have some concrete here for the plot size if you ended up shaping that out. Otherwise, it'll just be grass. We're going to go ahead and work our way towards the front and cut out 12 blocks. So you should actually end up deleting the edge of that plot size there, once again if you ended up doing the plot size. So let's cut out 12. Okay, and like I said, we ended up deleting that final block, so right here is the edge of the plot size. So now, let's grab our stripped spruce logs. We're going to fill this in with the logs facing up like that. And then I have some jungle pressure plates which we're gonna then cover up. And there we go. So that is the first set of blocks for the landscaping. Now we're gonna head on over towards this side and start shaping out the pathway and shaping out the other side of the driveway here. Let's go ahead, we're gonna start right here to the left of these blocks. So you want to make sure you're lined up with them. We'll head on over until we're lined up with the corner of the building there. And now we're going to carve out 6 blocks going towards the house. Okay, so it's like that. So like I said, we're starting to shape out where the driveway is. Now let's head on over to the left of that final block that we cut out. We're going to go to the corner and place 1, or cut out 1. And then we're going to go from the corner of that and cut out 3, and then another 3 more after that, and then we have 2, 1, and now we're going to start kind of working our way towards the porch area. So then we have 2, 2, 4, and then we go back in, make sure you're lined up with the pillar here, and we're going to carve out another 4. Alright, so it's looking like this. I'll go ahead and fill in the wood blocks. It makes it a lot easier to count. So real quick, we have 6, 1, 3, 3, 3, 2, 1, 2, 2, 4, and 4. And I'll go up. And now, like I said, you can see a lot easier how many blocks we placed, where we placed them. So you could go ahead, pause the video if needed, count the blocks. So it's looking like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch to the jungle pressure plates. And we're going to cover up all of these spots. So there we go. Now we're going to start working on the inner shape, which will then meet up to the corner of the house right there. And that'll pretty much start shaping out the garden area that we're going to have right there in the corner. Let's look at the side of the corner of the house here. So we're going to be right here, right next to the house at the corner. We're going to carve out 3 blocks towards the left. Then another 3 after that. And then 2. 1. And then we're going to work our way towards the house now. So we have 2 in that direction. Then 2 more. And then you should be lined up with the pillar, and we're going to leave off with 4. So we have a little shape like that. That is the shape for the garden area, and it also shapes out the little shape here for the pathway. Let's go ahead and fill all these spaces in, and then I'll go up above, and you could count the blocks, pause the video if needed. So there we go. Alright, let's go ahead and cover these up with the jungle pressure plates. So now this is what we have so far. So now with your stripped spruce logs, you want to look at this wall over here where these windows are. Make sure you're lined up with the gray concrete row right here. And you could place 3 logs like that. Alright, and then go ahead and do 2. And then we have 1. Then 2 working its way towards the house. And then 2 more going back in. So we have just a little shape like that. Just a little elevation for the garden areas. Instead of having this all flat here, we added the blocks on top of the grass instead of digging out holes and placing them. So now we're going to go ahead and cover these up with the jungle pressure plates. And there we go. Alright. Now, we're going to head on over here to this side and start shaping out the garden area over here. And then we'll carve out all the space within these shapes that we just made. We'll start filling it in. So let's head on to the garden area for this side next. Let's head on over here to the left side of the house, line up with the pillar. We're going to be back to cutting out some blocks. So we're going to start with 5, working our way towards the front side. Then we're going to go in and do 4. And then in and 3. And then 2. And 1. Now we're back to 2, working our way towards that side. 2 more after that. And then we have 4. And now we're going to start working our way back in a little bit. So like this. So we have 2 like that. And then 3. And leaving off with 1. Okay, so just a little rounded off shape, looking like this. I'll go ahead and fill in these blocks now. And then can count it, make it a little bit easier. So, there we go. A little bit easier to count. This is what it's looking like. Now, let's go ahead once again and cover up all of these spaces with the pressure plates. Let's add the elevated space now. And then we have this garden area all done. Alright, we have our logs again. We're going to line up with the pillar right here. We're going to place 2 in that direction like that. Then to the left of it, going out, we're going to place 1. And then 2 like that. And then we go back in and have 1. And then 2. 3. And then 4. And leave it off with 1. So it's looking like this. We'll go ahead and cover up all these spaces now. Alright. So, we shaped out everything for the front yard. It's looking like this. So now we have to carve out the lower layer of dirt for the garden areas and fill in the upper layer. And then we have to carve out all the space for the pathway and the driveway, fill all that in. And then we have these stripped lines of mowed grass. And then we are done. Yeah, then we're done with the front yard. Then we'll head on to the back. So pretty much, let's go ahead and start carving all the blocks out and fill in all the space in. So, let's go ahead and start carving out all the blocks first for the lower spaces. So we have the driveway and the pathway, and then the lower spaces for the garden areas. So I'm going to start over here and just start deleting all of the space within all the shapes that we made. went ahead and cut out all the space for now. So this is what it's looking like. Let's go ahead and we're going to start using our podzol and the coarse dirt first for the garden areas. So I'll just start with the podzol, and we're going to go ahead and just completely fill in all of the space for now. Then we'll go back with the coarse dirt, and it's pretty much just going to add a bit of extra texture. And be sure to also fill in the upper layers as well. So I just about got this lower space done. Let me hurry up and finish it up. So it's like that. And I also went ahead, I like to do this, just make sure to get right underneath the porch area there. It just looks a little bit weird having that as regular grass. I prefer it to be the actual garden blocks. And then, like I said, this space as well, let's go ahead and not forget about this. Be sure to fill it in. And we'll go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. Now I'm gonna go back with my coarse dirt and just cut out a few extra spaces and fill it in for extra texture. Alright, there we go. I added all the extra texture for the garden areas. And now before we start adding all the flowers, I want to first fill in the driveway and the pathway. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my bricks first and just completely fill it all in. And then just like we did with the garden areas, we'll go back and cut out a few spaces and add extra texture with the granite and the brick stairs. Okay, so I have the granite and the bricks, like that. Now I'm gonna go back with some brick stairs and just cut out a few spaces, doesn't have to be too much. And this just adds the final bit of extra texture that I like to add in the driveways and pathways. So for the driveway, let's have maybe like one more here, and that looks pretty good. So for the pathway, let's go ahead and maybe have two like that. Another one there. Maybe a little L shape here. And one more like that. And that's pretty good. Don't have to overdo it. And now, let's go ahead. We'll do the green and lime terracotta strips for like the mowed grass first. And then the last thing we'll do here in the front yard is add all our flowers and bushes for the garden areas. So let's add the mowed grass lines next. I'm gonna head on over here next to the driveway, and I'm gonna start by cutting out a few spaces, pretty much just shaping out a little rounded off corner for the rest of the yard. So I'll start here and I'll cut out 6 spaces first. Then I'll go in and cut out 5. I'm gonna go in again, cut out another 5. In again with another 5. And then let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we work our way back towards that direction. So I'm gonna maybe have, let's do 2, 3, and then maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then just finish it off until you meet up with the wood. So for me, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You could do this however you like, but I guess I'll go ahead and show you what I did. So just a little rounded off shape like that. Doesn't have to be anything special. Alright. Now I'm going to go within that shape, so all the other space on the other side of those cutout blocks. So working our way towards the rest of the stuff that we already did. We're going to start deleting all of these blocks, and then we'll fill it in with these strips of lime and green terracotta. Okay, I went ahead and cut out all that space. Now I'm gonna go back with my green and lime terracotta. You can start with either one, doesn't matter. And I'm gonna place 2 rows side by side. So we have the first strip like that. Then we're gonna go next to that with the other block and place 2 more rows. And just back and forth until you have all of the space filled in. Okay, hang on. I almost placed another row of the other block. So there we go. 2 rows of green, 2 rows of lime, 2 rows of green. So back and forth until you work your way all the way up against the driveway. So I'll see you guys when I have it all filled in. Okay, so in my case, I left off with 1 space here, so that's fine. It doesn't have to be 2 all the way throughout. So here we go, looking like that. And we'll go ahead and delete all the concrete and stuff last. So we won't worry about that quite just yet. We'll go ahead and finish the backyard, and then we'll delete all that at the end. But let's go ahead and do the garden areas now. So let me see, we still need some of these blocks. Actually, all we really need is the lime and green terracotta. All these other ones we could pretty much just get rid of. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because we don't have... Do we have any garden areas in the backyard? No, we don't. Just like the regular yard. Then a pool, trampoline, and a tree. I didn't grab the sapling or anything for the tree. I'll be sure to do that at the end. That's pretty much optional. But you will need like an oak sapling for that. But yeah, let me go ahead. And we don't need this, right? No, no, and no. And then I'll put these up here for now. And I'm going to go ahead and grab all of the garden blocks. And so just like the flowers, I have some melons and some oak leaves and then some ferns. Alright, let's go ahead and start with the garden stuff. And I'm going to start with maybe the oak leaves. So I'm going to have a bush right here. You guys could do this however you would like. Maybe have a bush right in the middle. And I'm going to have maybe just 1 more right here. And I'll probably leave it at that for the bushes on this side. And yeah, that's good. Yeah, I like that. Let's head on over here. We're going to have maybe like 1 right there. Maybe another one here. And I'll just have 1 right in the center here. Now, let's go ahead and add some flowers. I'll start with the bigger flowers first. Okay, so I have all the big flowers. Now let me add a few melons. So I'll have maybe 1 right there. Another one right around there. Maybe there, and 1 more right there. That's cool. Don't want to overdo it with the melons. So I have 1 there, maybe 1 right there, and 1 more up here. Okay, now I'm going to go back with the blue orchids, the lily of the valley, and some ferns, and just finish filling in a few of the empty spaces. And then we have the front yard all done. After this, we'll head on to the backyard. And I think that's pretty good now. Let's maybe have 1 of those there. Maybe another one there. Yeah, that spot was a bit empty. Alright, that should be fine now. Looks good. So I'm gonna head on to the backyard. And we'll probably... Let me see. Yeah, we'll start by doing the fence first. So as you can see, just some quartz blocks. And then everything else, we'll go ahead and probably... Yeah, we'll like cut out all of the dirt after we lay out the fence. So let's get on to the backyard next. Okay, I have my blocks of quartz and quartz slabs. That's what we're going to be using for the fence. And I'll just head on over here to the left side, lined up with the corner of the house here. And we'll just start by placing 2 blocks of quartz like that, and a slab. And let's see, we'll go up half a block and place 3 slabs. And then we'll have 2 blocks of quartz and a slab like that. And we'll keep doing that pattern until we line up with the edge of the plot size. So I'll be sure to count like how many of these pillars that we have. So if you didn't do the plot size, you know how far back to go, or how far back I went. You could make the yard as big as you would like. So I'm gonna have another 3 here, and then 2, and then the slab. So we have 3 center pillars so far. And then now we have a 4th one. And then 5. Oh. And 6. And 7. And then we end off with 8. So 8 pillars like that. Now, for the rest of the space in between these, we're going to add another layer of slabs. And there we go, we have the fence for this side. Looking good. Now, I'm just going to work my way all the way towards the other side until I'm lined up at the corner of the house right there. And then we're going to work it in until we meet up with the house. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I don't need to really show that. And I'll see you guys when I have it done. Okay, I'm just finishing up with the final side. And then what I'll go ahead and do is start cutting out all of the grass within the fence. So I'll actually be sure to use a potion of swiftness for that since it is a pretty big area. So there we go, I have the fence all done, looking like that. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. We won't worry about deleting this concrete line here just yet, we'll do that last. And that'll just be regular grass once we fill it in. But everything within is the inside of the fence. And make sure to get underneath the porch areas as well, all underneath here. And we're going to go ahead and start carving all of that out. And then we'll be sure to add the lines of the lime and green terracotta blocks to act as mowed grass. So I'm going to use my potion of swiftness. And I'm going to go ahead and start cutting out all of the space within the fence. I dug out all of the grass within the fence like that, and I made sure to get underneath those open spaces where the porch is. So now I'm going to go ahead and start adding the mowed grass. So you can start with either block, and we're going to go in the same direction that we did it at the front, and just add 2 rows, and work your way all the way towards the other side until you have it all filled in. I'm just finishing up with the mowed grass lines. So now we have it all filled in. Alright, now let's go ahead and start doing the trampoline, the pool, and then we'll go ahead and have a tree maybe right around here. I'll just delete a block and then I'll grab some regular grass so we can still plant the tree right there. And then, yeah, what else? So yeah, the pool, a trampoline, a tree right there, and then we pretty much just have to delete all of the extra blocks around the build, around the plot, or for the plot size, and then we are done with everything on the outside of the house. So let's go ahead, I'll do the trampoline first. Do we need any of these blocks? I do not think so. Let's go ahead and get rid of all those. So I believe all we need now is just these blocks. Actually, let's grab that. We'll swap out that. And we also need a bucket of water. I forgot to grab that. So let me go ahead and grab that real quick. Okay, and then I'm also going to grab the oak sapling. And then a block of glass. If you're wondering why it's a block of glass, actually, I'll go ahead and plant the tree now, and we need some bone meal. For the block of glass, there's a higher chance that you could get a bigger tree like every time. So real quick, I'll just save just in case if I don't get a big tree, I could just leave the game and join back in. So there we go. We're gonna have a block of glass from the corner of the tree like that and up one block. So it's looking like that. And then I'm gonna have the bone meal. Oh wow, that is like one of the first times I haven't gotten the big tree. Let me go ahead and try that again. Okay, so let's have the glass like that, the oak sapling, and then the bone meal. There we go, now we got the big tree. So yeah, it's pretty much just like a higher chance of getting a big tree like that. So yeah, I left it simple with this build. I didn't like do my own custom tree, so that's easy enough. And now we do not need the sapling anymore, the glass, or the bone meal, and we could grab the diorite wall, the string, and the gray carpet now. And these blocks right here are going to be used for the pool. Alright, so yeah, let's go ahead and start shaping out the trampoline, and then we'll do the pool. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the diorite walls, and I'm just going to have a rectangular trampoline. You could have a circle one if you'd like. Pretty much how we're going to do the pool is going to be a circle. So what you could do is end up doing a similar circle shape with the trampoline, but that's if you do want a circle one. So in this case, I'm going to have a rectangular one. I'm going to place the diorite wall, maybe have one right around there. We'll skip over 5 spaces. And then on the 6th block, we'll have another one. And now let's skip over 4. And the 5th block, we'll place one. We'll skip over another 4. And then we'll place one right around there. So we're forming the rectangular shape like that. Now, let's go ahead and have string in between all of these walls. And then within is the shape that we have here. So all the empty space in the middle, we're going to go ahead and fill in with string as well. Now, for the outside, I'm just going to have some gray carpet. Oh wait, no. For the outside, I want blue. For the inside is going to be gray. So just right along the border like this. And now let's have our gray for the middle. Okay, so there we go, looking good. And we have this side all done. Now we can head on to doing the pool. So we don't need that, we don't need that, we don't need that. But we do need all of these blocks here for the pool. So let's get on to doing that next. Alright, I'm going to start with the blue concrete. And we're going to go ahead and shape out the pool first. And I'm going to try to get within the center of the corner space right around here for this side. So let's go ahead with the blue concrete. We'll start 4 like that. Right around there should be good. Then we'll have 2 on each side. And then 1 on each side. Okay, we might have to move it over actually. So then we're gonna have 2 and 4. Actually, you know what? It's good. So let's have 2 and 4 on here. Alright, so we have half of the pool. Let's do the other half. So we have 2, 1, and 2. 2, 1, and 2, and then leave it off with 4. Okay, so we just formed a circle shape like that. As you can see, each long side has 4. And then the curved spaces is just 2, 1, and 2. Very simple. Alright, now I'm going to place a layer of white concrete right on top of those blue concrete blocks. And then all of the space within this shape, we're gonna go ahead and replace with some gray concrete. So that's like the bottom of the pool. So we didn't really need the lime and green terracotta here. Looking like that. Now, I have some jungle fences. I pretty much just made my own ladder. Now, if you actually want to be able to climb up the side of the pool and then into the pool, you could just have a regular Minecraft ladder. But in my case, since I really don't need to do that, this is a creative world, I like to do my own custom ladder. So I'm going to have 4 of the jungle fences like that. As you can see, like if this was real life, this is similar to what the pool ladder would look like. And then I'm gonna have another 4 on this side inside the pool. And actually, let's not fill this in quite just yet. I want to do the water first. I think it'll make it a bit easier. But yeah, we will have the ladder on this side as well. So pretty much for the ladder here, I thought of it as one of those that you could pretty much take in and out. So it's like on this side for the outside, and then goes over the edge of the pool here and then into the pool. And then let's say you don't want it there, you could just pick it up and put it on the outside, and then there's no ladder there. So that's kind of how I thought of the ladder for this case. But I'm gonna go ahead and fill in all of this space with some water. And then we'll go back and add, oh, just like what I did, add an extra layer. And then we still have to add some blue carpet on top of the white concrete. But real quick, let me go ahead and fill in the water. Just about got it all done. And there we go. So now let me add the layer of blue carpet. And then we'll finish off the ladder. I think it would have made it a little bit more difficult if I would have done the ladder and then the water. I'm not really too sure how that would have worked. I actually kind of want to see what would happen. So let's say if we had no water here yet, and then I went ahead and added the ladder first, how would the water work? Oh yeah, see how it is? How it's just like the one space? So yeah, that's why I wanted to add the water first. I think it'll make it a bit easier. Alright, is this all filled in with water now? I think we're good. Okay, now let's add the ladder. And there we go, it just looks like it's right inside the water. Nothing odd going on. Yeah, it's all good. Okay, so there we go. So now I'm just gonna have some decorations in the pool that are like the floaty stuff. So I have some smooth red sandstone slabs, some red nether brick slabs, and then some prismarine brick slabs. And then we also actually need the quartz slabs. So let me go ahead and grab those. Alright. Oh, whoops, I did not mean to do that. Let's go ahead and add all these right next to each other. Alright, just add some color to the pool, instead of just having maybe a bunch of quartz ones or something. So, let's go ahead and have a circular one. So I want maybe a slab like that, and then a red one on each side, and then a quartz one. So just a little pattern back and forth between the red and the white, like that. So now you could go in here. It's kind of just like a little circular floaty that you could sit in. And then we'll go ahead and have ones that you pretty much lay on. So we'll use the smooth red sandstone slabs. We'll have one maybe right here. So we'll have pretty much like a full block of slabs, like 2 slabs stacked up, and then 2 slabs going out. Okay. And then we'll have a blue one right around, let's see, bring it in one more, right around there. And I think that's good. Just a few little decorations on the pool. And now we are done. So we just have to delete all the extra concrete blocks around the build. So let me go ahead and grab some regular grass. But this is what the backyard's looking like. All good. I really like how this pool turned out. I've never done an above ground pool before, but I'm definitely happy with how it looks. I think it looks like how an above ground pool should look. How it would look. So there we go. The backyard's very simple. A lot of empty space. You could add a lot more if you want to, but I'm going to leave it as it is. So now let me go through. I'm going to maybe grab some potions of swiftness. And I'm going to delete all of the extra concrete around the build. And after I do that, we're going to go ahead and leave it at that for this video. I think I went around and deleted all those extra blocks. So now the build is all clean. There's no extra random blocks lying around the edge. Alright, so there we go. We're done with everything on the outside of the house. So now, in the next video, which is part 5, we'll be starting the interior to the house. But we're going to go ahead and leave it at that for this video. Alright guys, that's going to be it here for part 4 for this tutorial on how to build this suburban house. If it helped you, be sure to please leave a like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in part 5. Later.